Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues 3 royal decrees. Al-Raft Fund announces that it has financed 1,000 projects since its establishment worth 26 million Omani riyals. An Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Governorate of Dhahira familiarizes male and female entrepreneurs on how to deal with commercial fraud. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has issued 3 royal decrees. Royal Decree number 70/2014 ratifies the Sultanate of Oman's joining the Near East Plant Protection Organization. Article 1 ratifies the Sultanate of Oman's joining the Near East Plant Protection Organization's membership in accordance with the agreement for the establishment of the organization as per the version attached. Article 2, the authorities concerned should undertake procedures for joining the Near East Plant Protection Organization in line with the provisions of the aforementioned agreement. And Article 3, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of issue. Royal Decree number 71/2014 appoints non-resident ambassador. Article 1 appoints Sheikh Hamad bin Saif bin Abdulaziz al-Rawahi, Sultanate's ambassador to India, as a non-resident ambassador to Nepal and the Maldives. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of issue. Royal Decree number 72/2014 endorses the oil agreement between the government of the Sultanate of Oman and Midco Arabia Limited and Intaj LLC for Block 56, signed on November 20th, 2014. Article 1 endorses the aforementioned oil agreement. Article 2, this decree shall be published in the official gazette and shall come into effect from the date of issue. In order to boost relations with the European Parliament, the Shura Council office discussed the proposal of forming a joint Gulf Parliamentarian Committee of Legislative Councils at the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. The office discussed topics related to changing orders and reasons of violations in some projects awarded to one of the private sector companies. The office also reviewed the reply of His Excellency, the Minister of Transport and Telecommunications, regarding road projects in some villages in the Governorate of Dhafar. On the other hand, the office ratified hosting delegates from General Secretariat of the GCC Council to present a visual show on what has been reached in economic integration projects among the Council countries. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, received today His Excellency Abdullah bin Muhammad al-Saidi, Foreign Minister of Yemen. The meeting discussed aspects of bilateral cooperation between the two brotherly countries and means of enhancing them in various areas, as well as exchanging views on the regional and international issues of common concern. First and the second batches of judges and the first batch of public prosecutors celebrated today their graduation from the Higher Judiciary Institute in the Wilaya of Nizwa. The ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Abdul Malik bin Abdullah al-Khalili, Minister of Justice. The graduates went through scientific qualification and practical training. The academic program for graduates for judges and public prosecutors grants them a higher diploma in judicial sciences and also grants them skills and knowledge needed for their jobs. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the chief guest distributed graduation certificates for graduates to the judges and public prosecutors. The Tender Board held its 24th meeting of the year, awarding projects and additional works for incomplete development projects in various fields worth more than 33 million Omani riyals. It awarded rice import for Public Authority for Stores and Food Reserve, providing consultancy services for managing Oman University project, works of constructing asphalt roads in Jerzi's farm in Salala. The board awarded security service to a number of health establishments of the Ministry of Health and additional works for air telecommunication systems, weather forecast systems for Oman's atmosphere, on land and through satellites. A Raft Fund brand identity and logo inspired by the Islamic architectural art was inaugurated today. It is formed from 8 parts describing the growth of the fund's abilities and its contribution in serving small and medium-sized enterprises, which in turn contribute in the comprehensive development and in the diversification of the national economy. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Hamad bin Khamis Al-Amri, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Manpower for Labor Affairs. The fund aims to develop entrepreneurship in the Sultanate and provide job opportunities for Omanis, in addition to merging social security categories and rural women into the economic cycle. Tariq bin Sulaiman Al-Farsi, the Chief Executive Officer of Al-Raft Fund, said that the fund has financed more than 1,000 projects worth more than 26 million Omani riyals in 2014. He hoped that 2015 would be at the same level as the current year and to focus on the value added, indicating that a bundle of new programs will be launched, specifically targeting tourism, industry and trade. Khalifa bin Saeed Al-Abri, Acting Chief Executive Officer of the Public Authority for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Development, stressed that 2015 will witness the start of distributing industrial land plots for SME owners with the right of benefit, in addition to establishing business incubators for retail sales. He indicated that the authority has started a host of initiatives, adding that the Entrepreneurs magazine's first edition will be published this week to be finalized in 2015. He said that the training programs are still going on inside and outside the Sultanate, as well as providing support of consultancy for SME owners, besides following up the implementation of Sayh al-Shamikhad decisions, which are to be completed in 2015. And still to come in our news bulletin. The Ministry of Information launches the book exploring 12 wadis in Oman. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Medical Service of the Gulf Cooperation Council's Armed Forces implemented activities of the 3rd Joint Medical Training. It came within the training plans adopted by the service, within its goals to exchange expertise so as to upgrade the levels of efficiency and readiness for the medical and administrative crews in dealing with emergency cases during crisis and armed conflicts. The practical demonstration of the joint exercise was implemented in exercise fields affiliated to Royal Army of Oman in Hazm area in the wilaya of Rustaq. It was presided over by Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith bin Nasr Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, with the attendance of senior commanders and heads of medical services of the GCC countries. They were briefed on the activities of the exercise, saw a documentary film on the training events. They also toured the joint field units in the exercise and acquainted with the equipment and devices used in such scenarios. The Ministry of Higher Education held a press conference with the attendance of various media means. It came to reveal that the graduates' survey for academic years 2009, 2010, 2012 and 2013 will start in March 2015. The survey targets 35,000 graduates that represent 62 educational, government and private institutions. This was considered another step of the Ministry's strategic planning, where the survey data will point out the actual performance and competitiveness among the higher education institutions. Within the aim to enhance cooperation aspects in tourism fields and increase air transport services between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Nepal, the Sultanate, represented in the Public Authority of Civil Aviation, signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Nepal. The MOU includes increasing the number of flights between the two countries from 7 to 11 weekly flights. Besides operating air cargo flights without any restrictions, it also contains cooperation in technical fields for navigation, safety and meteorology. The Foreign Language Service and the Sultanate of Oman's radio and sports channel in the Public Authority of Radio and Television will start broadcasting their programs 24 hours, 7 days a week from the 1st of January 2015. It came within the framework of the authority to continue developing to serve the listeners and audiences everywhere and taking into account the timing differences around the world. The English language service of the radio and sports channel will broadcast various programs within their next programming schedule. The Ministry of Information held a ceremony in Muscat to launch the book entitled Exploring 12 Wadis in Oman, under the auspices of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud al-Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The book was considered a touristic and historical reference that highlights the beauty of the Omani environment. It also provides information on caves, beaches, wadis, and mountains in the Sultanate. The accompanying exhibition showcased a number of photos that shed light on natural sceneries and other charming environments. This book came as a fruit of efforts exerted by the Ministry of Information. Now, with the aim to upgrade small and medium-sized enterprises by introducing entrepreneurs to the proper ways of dealing with commercial fraud, the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industries branch in the Governorate of Dhahira organized a program to combat fraud. It aims to introduce the participants with the negative impact caused by fake goods and products. The program also discussed combating commercial fraud in the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, the role of specialization of the Public Authority for Consumer Protection in monitoring the goods and combating all kinds of commercial fraud, besides visual presentations on the genuine and fake goods. It included a training program called Baqala to help SME owners understand the role of marketing and promotions, as well as administrative and financial procedures of running a business. The commercial sector in the Governorate of Musandam is growing steadily, according to the existing data, but some of the entrepreneurs believe that the level of growth did not live up to their ambitions. The entrepreneurs believe that the Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry has done a lot in the past year, but there is still a lot that can be done to instill the business dialogue and experience exchange among female and male entrepreneurs. The OCCI aims to increase dialogue and communication among the entrepreneurs to enhance the culture of knowledge of laws and regulations and methods of support between SMEs and large corporates in the Governorate. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issues 3 royal decrees. Al-Raft Fund announces that it has financed 1,000 projects since its establishment worth 26 million Omani Riyals. An Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the Governorate of Dhahira familiarizes male and female entrepreneurs on how to deal with commercial fraud. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.